I'm Andre Huey and welcome to SKN Football Weekly. This is your weekly web TV show here on the networks of St. Kitts Nevis Football Association as well as SKN Newsline. I'm joined by my co-host Sean Dixon, and each and every week we talk football here in St. Kitts, the National Bank Premier League in particular. We look at the football action there, we look at reviews of the games, the previous games, and previewing the upcoming games. Well, we had some, should we say, not too exciting games last week. Three matches that ended in 0-0 stalemates. Consecutively, 2 matches on Saturday night, and the very first game on Sunday ended in 0-0 stalemate. But the excitement started later on. I guess it was the lull from the international break.
Yes, I'm guessing so. We had almost 300 minutes before a goal was scored in the Premier League this past weekend. So hopefully this weekend we could see improvement in that area.
So to give you highlights of what took place, we'll have these 2 reports that were done on behalf of the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association, done by yours truly. We'll be looking at those games, reviewing the matches played last weekend, and we'll come right back to talk some more about them.
It was a goalless draw at the Warner Park Football Stadium in the SKNFA National Bank Premier League as both matches on Saturday ended in 0-0 stalemates. Rams Village Superstars failed to score against a resolute fast-cast Saddlers FC in the first of the night's doubleheader, a result that Saddlers would relish. Coach Alexis Richards of Saddlers said it was his team's determination and grit that got them this positive result.
Yeah, man, for sure. The guys are a good team. Yeah, man, the guys really committed to train hard, to work hard. And they've been a family team, same as still.
How will this motivate the team going forward?
Well, for sure, this draw against Village, defending champion, must motivate us to go far for the next year.
Assistant coach Stephen Clark said the layoff from the international break may have been the reason why his players failed to score.
Just in the final third, just finishing really, and the last half, that's all happened in this game.
Right. Now, what will you need to do now to fix that? Because Village is known for a team that score goals, defend well, but you're not getting that so far in the season.
Well, again, it was kind of a long week, you know.
In the night's other matchup, the highly billed Flow 4GK and Rockets versus SL Horswood St. Paul's was a slightly more open match, but both goalkeepers had little to do for most of the match, and when they did, they were up to the task. St. Paul's got the better of the chances in the first half, but failed to find the back of the net. Keon also created some chances of their own in the second half, but to no avail. Assistant coach of Keon, Jazza Buchanan, took positives from the match and pointed to the display of the younger talent on the team, considering the major departures they suffered in transfers.
We have a lot of youngsters still understand the system that we bring into the team. Again, we're still trying to fill the gap for the six starters. The starters already before. We take some strong action with some senior players who probably start. Trying to get some youngsters now into the system, but it's just a learning stage, and then Keanu will be going back into the very well.
St. Paul's player Daryl Challenger was equally positive, while pointing to the chances they created in the match.
Well, really and truly it wasn't the long laugh from the international break, it's just that we keep come out and we control the game, possess the ball, keep the shape, but we have the chances them and just fail to score.
Now, St. Paul's is unbeaten, but of course you want to get more 3 points, you want to score more goals. So what's the strategy going forward?
Well, the strategy going forward is we're going to go back to the drawing board, start to work on goal scoring opportunities, and when we get a chance, we score them. Basically from there, then we move on to the victories again.
After a drought of goals the night before, the SKNFA National Bank Premier League Sunday action did not disappoint, as there were 2 matches of the 3 that produced some excellent goals. S-Crave Newtown United delivered a killer blow to Elka Limited St. Peter's with a 3-1 victory, condemning St. Peter's to the bottom of the table, still to register a point. As was the case in their match just before the international break, St. Peter's took the lead in the 10th minute, courtesy of a Kareem Harris penalty kick. But St. Peter's, for a second straight time, failed to hold on to that lead and succumbed to 3 Newtown goals in the second half. Giovanni Lake scored in the 40th minute from a horrible goalkeeping error. Jan Duncan scored a contender for goal of the season with a shot on the edge of the 18-yard box that slotted right in the V of the goal in the 68th minute, while Kimber Lawrence scored a penalty in the first minute of stoppage time. Meanwhile, the day's first match between Mantab and the United Old Road Jets ended in a 0-0 stalemate, continuing the trend of the night before, where both matches failed to register a goal. The only highlight of this match was that Tiquani Williams and Dornell Bernier, both of Old Road Jets, were sent off with red cards in the first and third minute of stoppage time. Finally, in the matchup of the weekend, Sol Allen Auto Supply's Connery bounced back from shock defeat to Bantab to defeat Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs 2-0. Dejani Fai scored in the 31st minute for Connery and Glenroy Samuel scoring a penalty kick in the 41st minute. After the match, we spoke to Connery's coach, Alexis Morris.
We have done everything that we trained on the training ground for the past week and a half. Couple of them transpired against the Manchester team really came out in the condition to really take this game. We needed 3 points in the worst of ways, and we really went out there and demonstrated what we could do. Once we decide to play what we do on the training pitch, we'll be a force to be reckoned with, and I just want to say kudos to my guys. Great victory tonight. Unfortunately, it could have been worse. We should have scored many more goals, but we welcome the 2 goals to the victory.
Match day 5 of the SKNFA National Bank Premier League kicks off on Saturday.
So there you have it there, the highlights of the games played last weekend. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be looking at those matches, look at the table standings, and then we'll preview the upcoming matches in this weekend's SKNFA National Bank Premier League. We'll be right back.
It's one of the most anticipated events of the year. November 4, get ready for Latin Festival at Freaky Bay Lawn starting at 3 p.m. Featuring out of Puerto Rico, Sun Divas. Out of Sweet Sugar Sonic St. Kitts, DJ Elvis. From Jamaica, Romain Virgo. And out of Dominican Republic, El Alpha El Jefe. Get your tickets now at Cajola Cristal Limited, online at latinfestival.net. Avalon Lab in the Sands Complex for only $35 EC until October 28 and $55 after. At Uncle Fats, you can get your VIP tickets for only $320 EC until October 15 and $350 after. Limited amount available. Save the date, November 4. Get ready for Latin Fiesta. Sponsored by Cajola Cristata, Hobson Enterprise, St. Kitts Marriott Resort, Caribbean Cinemas, Stag, and Mojitos La Casa de Albano.
Preview. At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets flooded, getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Uptown Pizza and Cafe in Charlestown, Nevis offers the widest variety in sumptuous lunches found anywhere on the island. Come for a delicious pizza of any topping: pepperoni, veggie, margarita, chicken and pineapple, and more. Try the special dishes: wings at various flavors, sweet Thai chili, spicy barbecue, and more. Uptown Pizza and Cafe also offers the best in burgers: Fiesta Burger, Barbecue Cheddar Burger, and much more. Come to Uptown Pizza and Cafe, located at Cedar Trees, Charlestown, opposite the park. Call 663-0525 or 469-3052. Also visit them on Facebook. Search Uptown Pizza. Uptown Pizza and Cafe. Local cuisine, international flavor.
When I see the love in the land, boy, it's Christmas again.
It might be too early to say it's Christmas time, but KFC is giving you a chance to win extra cash for this Christmas. $3,500 EC dollars. All you have to do is spend $25 EC dollars or more. Then log on to kfcsurvey.com. Complete the survey. Write the validation code you receive after you finish the survey on the back of your KFC receipt, along with your name and phone number, and return to any KFC cashiers. Simple as that. And listen out for your name in December for that extra cash of $3,500 EC dollars. Celebrate the Christmas holidays with KFC. KFC is finger licking good.
When I see the love in the land, boy, it's Christmas again.
At Cable, we provide much more than just the fastest and most reliable internet service. We fill the homes of all our customers with joy and laughter. Our services connect friends and keep families together. With the most extensive fiber optic network, we ensure that you can enjoy the things you love with the people you love. Whether it's catching up with family or old friends, or simply just enjoying your favorite TV shows, people choose the cable because quality shows.
For all your printing needs at top-notch quality, go to Digital Print Plus, located on Princess Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts. At Digital Print Plus, you get the best in business cards, letterheads, envelopes, wristbands, tent cards, rack cards, flyers, brochures, logo designs, posters, photos, architectural designs, 3D renderings, and so much more. Digital Print Plus gives you the best quality at competitive prices. Contact us at 767-7468 or email digitalprintskn@gmail.com or follow us on Facebook at digitalprintskn. Digital Print Plus for all your printing needs at the best quality. The National Bank Premier League in St. Kitts is back, and Voice of the Caribbean Radio is bringing live coverage with the SKNFA Match of the Week. Every Saturday evening at 8 p.m., Voice of the Caribbean Radio will be broadcasting the Premier League Match of the Week at www.voiceofthecaribbean.net or sknfa.com.
Shot taken and in the back of the net!
We'll bring you the action through live commentary and analysis with pre-game, halftime, and post-game shows, live and direct from the Warner Park Football Stadium. That's the SKNFA Match of the Week on Voice of the Caribbean Radio in partnership with the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association, bringing live radio coverage every Saturday at 8 p.m. from now till the end of the season, only on voiceofthecaribbean.net or sknfa.com. Live football action from St. Kitts every Saturday on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, your Caribbean sports leader.
I am floored. That is a scorcher of a goal. That's the best.
Welcome back to SKN Football Weekly. Well, before the break, you got a chance to see the action from last weekend. We're going to be talking a bit about that now and look at the games ahead. Let's first talk about the 2-0 stalemates on Saturday night. We broadcast one of those games, which was the St. Paul's Keon match, which was broadcast live on Voice of the Caribbean Radio. What were your thoughts on those two matches?
Well, with the St. Paul's Keon game, I thought St. Paul's were the better team, and I thought they looked certain to get a goal very early on, but Val in the Keon goal, he pulled off some brilliant saves, and Keon themselves had opportunities as well, but as we said on commentary tonight, the game lacked potency in the 18-yard boxes because teams were doing well to build up to create the opportunities, but after the opportunities created, they weren't taking advantage of.
Do you think it had a lot to do with the international break? That's what the assistant coach of Village posited, that it could have been, the fact that they had this lull in activity, in football activity.
Yes, I believe so, because the season was still early, teams were still shaking off the rust, and then to get a break this early on in the season, it probably did play a part.
Yeah, the international break is always a conundrum for most players, especially even on the international stage. It's not only something that's unique to St. Kitts Nevis. But let's talk about Sunday's matches, because we did have some action on Sunday with the goals that were scored. We did have a third game that went to a 0 stalemate, Mantab and Oro. Let's talk about that, because though there were no goals, there were 2 red cards issued, which I said were the only highlight in the match. But these were 2 teams that just got promoted and needed to have gotten something from this game. Do you think the 1 point was sufficient?
I think both will be disappointed, because as we've been saying, you need to get points from teams in and around you, and a win is basically a 6-pointer. I saw the game. It was very physical, very testy. It came to a head many times. So
which explains there were 2 red cards.
Yes. But though it wasn't, it was quite entertaining. So.
Right. Well, the first goal came in this. It took us 4 matches to get a goal this weekend, and so we had that in the Connery, the 4th match, right? We had that in the Newtown game, the Escrave Newtown United versus the St. Peter's, Alpha St. Peter's. And what a game it was. It was 3 fantastic goals, well, maybe 2, you could say, fantastic goals from Newtown, because one of them was really down to a goalkeeping error. But Jen Duncan from Keon, formerly of Keon FC, now playing for Newtown, scored a fantastic goal, which I believe is a contender for goal of the season.
Yes, it was a brilliant goal, yes. But the game, Newtown had to come from behind. St. Peter's again blew another 1-0 lead. They went up early.
Yeah, it's the second time now they were up 1-0. Yeah.
They scored the first goal of the Premier League weekend. It's sad that it took 4 games. The 4th game, it was a penalty, but they took the lead. It was the play that led to the penalty was a beautiful football, but the Newtown defender had no choice but to follow it. Newtown though, they stuck to their task. They didn't get they got the equalizer in the first half.
Yes.
Yes. And then they came out to the second half and polished off the game with a decent free, well, the free kick.
The free kick was a good free kick,
but
it really was scored because of that goalkeeping error.
Yes. But they will be proud of that result, while St. Peter's 4 games in, no points.
Yeah. Let's talk about St. Peter's because they're in trouble. It's early in the season still, but the mere fact that you have the 2 newly promoted teams ahead of you on points and goals, by the way, and you're at the bottom of the table with just 2 goals, a negative goal difference, and it just seems hopeless for them. What will it take for them to turn their season around? They usually have a slow start to the season, but this seems to be the slowest they've had in a long time.
Well, to turn the season around, they have to do better in every department, every single department. They have to stop leaking in these, let's say, foolish goals, and they have to take better opportunities of the chances they get. They are in the negative in the goal difference, so they would be worried. They would be worried trying to finish off the season.
Yeah. As for Newtown, they are certainly looking good. They have a really good lineup right now. They haven't lost a match, and now they seem to be finding their rhythm and playing their rhythm. They had a lot of transfers. They were the beneficiaries of the transfer market, and now we seem to be gelling and seem to be finding that core. Can we expect this to continue for Newtown?
Yes, because I still think they have room to grow. They can do better. So I think their team you have to keep your eye on. They have been dormant for the past 3-4 years, and they weren't happy. And so I would expect to see much better from them.
All right, so let's move to the final match on the weekend. That was Sol Island Auto Supplies Connery FC taking on Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs. This was a game we were looking forward to. It was a chance for both teams, well, for Spurs to build on their recent successes. New coach, a new look, a new style of play. And for Connery, it was a must-win game because they needed to bounce back from that loss to Mantac. Connery did fantastically well. They bounced back. Spurs were a bit disappointing.
Yes. Connery was by far the better team. Spurs, though, they had their moments in the game. They couldn't find the back of the net, but Connery, for me, was the better team. They had the better of the game, and it showed on the scoreline. They were quite comfortable. They scored 2 decent goals.
Even though one was a penalty.
Yes,
yeah. Yes. But the play that led to the penalty was also a good play, so I think that makes up for it.
But Spurs, they seem very young. They seem very raw. They have time, especially within the new playoff structure. They should be able to sneak in still, but they seem very inexperienced. Let's say.
Well, not to cut you, but as you talk about new playoff structure, is it a case where that some teams are going to be lazing around and thinking, well, we're now a Super 6, so we can squeeze in a playoff spot? It's not like before when it was just the 4.
Well, I wouldn't know if if that is where if that is their mindset, but to
But is it a good mindset to have?
No, because it's not something you may be able to switch on at your own will. So it's always good to get the winning feeling, get the confidence going, and get the team chemistry. Winning breeds camaraderie. So it's always good to get those wins and everything. And also, there are other trophies up for grabs, like the Carnival Cup is coming up. So
yeah, you have to be in the 4 to get that. All right.
Yes, so.
Well, that will wrap up. Let's talk about Conry. This win obviously does a lot for their confidence. As Coach Alexis Morris said the week before the international break, hey, these things happen. We just need to bounce back from it.
Yes, it was important for them to bounce back after losing a game they probably thought they shouldn't have. It's good to bounce back against a team who may be a playoff contender. So it's a good win for Conry.
Right. Well, that's a wrap up for the matches played last weekend. We're now getting ourselves ready for the preview. But before we do that, we'll take another break and we'll come right back to talk about the matches for this weekend's SKNFA National Bank Premier League.
It's one of the most anticipated events of the year. November 4, get ready for Latin Festival at Free Bay Lawn starting at 3 p.m. Featuring out of Puerto Rico, Sun Divas. Out of Sweet Sugar Sonic St. Kitts, DJ Elvis. From Jamaica, Romain Virgo. And out of Dominican Republic, El Alpha El Jefe. Get your tickets now at Cajola Cristal Limited, online at latinfestival.net, Avalon Lab in the Sands Complex for only $35 EC until October 28 and $55 after. At Uncle Fats, you can get your VIP tickets for only $320 EC until October 15 and $350 after. Limited amount available. Save the date, November 4. Get ready for Latin Fiesta. Sponsored by Cajola Cristata, Hobson Enterprise, St. Kitts Marriott Resort, Caribbean Cinemas, Stag, and Mojitos La Casa de Albano.
Preview. At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets flooded. Getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Uptown Pizza and Cafe in Charlestown, Nevis offers the widest variety in sumptuous lunches found anywhere on the island. Come for a delicious pizza of any topping: pepperoni, veggie, margarita, chicken and pineapple, and more. Try the special dishes: wings at various flavors, sweet Thai chili, spicy barbecue, and more. Uptown Pizza and Cafe also offers the best in burgers: Fiesta Burger, Barbecue Cheddar Burger, and much more. Come to Uptown Pizza and Cafe, located at Cedar Trees, Charlestown, opposite the park. Call 663-0525 or 469-3052. Also visit them on Facebook. Search Uptown Pizza. Uptown Pizza and Cafe. Local cuisine, international flavor.
When I see the love in the land, boy, it's Christmas again.
It might be too early to say it's Christmas time, but KFC is giving you a chance to win extra cash for this Christmas. $3,500 EC dollars. All you have to do is spend $25 EC dollars or more. Then log on to KFCsurvey.com. Complete the survey. Write the validation code you receive after you finish the survey on the back of your KFC receipt, along with your name and phone number, and return to any KFC cashiers. Simple as that. And listen out for your name in December for that extra cash of $3,500 EC dollars. Celebrate the Christmas holidays with KFC. KFC is finger licking good.
Cause when I see the love in the land, boy, it's Christmas again.
The Cable, we provide much more than just the fastest and most reliable internet service. We fill the homes of all our customers with joy and laughter. Our services connect friends and keep families together. With the most extensive fiber optic network, we ensure that you can enjoy the things you love with the people you love. Whether it's catching up with family or old friends, or simply just enjoying your favorite TV shows, people choose the cable because quality shows.
For all your printing needs at top-notch quality, go to Digital Print Plus, located on Princess Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts. At Digital Print Plus, you get the best in business cards, letterheads, envelopes, wristbands, tent cards, rack cards, flyers, brochures, logo designs, posters, photos, architectural designs, 3D renderings, and so much more. Digital Print Plus gives you the best quality at competitive prices. Contact us at 767-7468 or email digitalprintskn@gmail.com or follow us on Facebook at digitalprintskn. Digital Print Plus for all your printing needs at the best quality. The National Bank Premier League in St. Kitts is back, and Voice of the Caribbean Radio is bringing live coverage with the SKNFA Match of the Week. Every Saturday evening at 8 p.m., Voice of the Caribbean Radio will be broadcasting the Premier League Match of the Week at www.voiceofthecaribbean.net or sknfa.com.
Shot taken and in the back of the net!
We'll bring you the action through live commentary and analysis with pre-game, halftime and post-game shows, live and direct from the Warner Park Football Stadium. That's the SKNFA Match of the Week on Voice of the Caribbean Radio in partnership with the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association, bringing live radio coverage every Saturday at 8 p.m. from now till the end of the season, only on voiceofthecaribbean.net or sknfa.com. Live football action from St. Kitts every Saturday on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, your Caribbean sports leader.
I am floored. That is a scorcher of a goal. That's the best.
Welcome back to SKN Football Weekly. We're coming to you from the conference room of Football House for this week's edition, and we're looking at the matches upcoming for this weekend. Let's talk about the one that starts on at 6 p.m. tonight. Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs taking on Mantab. Spurs, having that disappointment from last week, they're certainly going to want to try and get something from this game. But Mantab seems to be finding their rhythm. They're now accustomed to the Premier League structure once again, and they don't seem to fear anyone.
Yes, and coming into this game, believe it or not, Mantab is ahead of Spurs in the Premier League.
Wow, look, imagine that. Yeah, we were supposed to look at the table, so we're going to take a quick look at the table in a bit, right after this.
Yeah. So Mantab actually sitting one place ahead of Spurs in 8th. Spurs is in 9th, Mantab is in 8th, but they're separated and goal different. So it's a good start for Mantab, considering they're new team in the Premier League, and they wouldn't want to be in the bottom 2, and they're not in the bottom 2 for the time being. But for Spurs, they wouldn't be pleased with their position, but it's still early yet in the season. There's a lot of time to get to pick up points, and they can pick up points.
Well, this game tonight, this game will be the perfect game. Now, if they don't get anything from this game, then they're in trouble.
Yes.
They're certainly in trouble. But Mantab, obviously, they've had a pretty good run so far. I mean, even though they were looking to get 3 points last week, they still didn't lose the game, and they won the week before, so they have 4 points. And as you rightfully pointed out, they're ahead of a team like Spurs in the standings.
They will definitely be pleased with that, to be where they are, 4 points off bottom even, because I have yet to pick up a point.
I have yet to pick up a point, yeah.
So they will definitely be happy.
All right. Well, while I'm going to let you pull up the table so we can go through that, but let's talk about the 8 p.m. game, which incidentally, again, is going to be on Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net, or affiliate radio station. We broadcast the 8 p.m. game every Saturday, and this Saturday it will be Rangeley Superstars versus Sol Island Auto Supplies Connery. This is going to be a cracker. Yes. This is the repeat of last season's finals, and Connery, I'm sure, has a bone to pick, but Spurs, not getting good results of their last 2 matches, they're not going to want to let this one drop. They want to make an emphatic statement, and what a way to do it against a team like Connery.
Yes, I'm coming into this game, Connery, following their victory against Spurs. They jump up into third, while Rams Village Superstars sitting in fifth. So,
right. So yeah.
Connor would definitely be wanting to avenge Rams Village Superstars after what happened in the finals, while the Rams Village Superstars they'll be desperate for a win. After they lost 4-0 to Newtown, they couldn't find a goal against Saddlers. They couldn't get a victory, but they didn't lose. But they'll be desperate to get something, at least a draw. At least they might want the victory.
Yeah.
Going two games without a victory, they might want a victory now. So they'll be desperate for something from this game.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Connery seemed to that seemed to be their Achilles heel, Village, last season at least, from last season.
Yes.
Because even in the game they played in the semi-finals, leading up to the Final Four, before Connery confirmed their spot, they actually played the better of the two teams. They had more chances, they had more shots on target, but they just couldn't find the goal, and Village was able to beat them. The first opportunity Village got, they took it and beat them. I think it was 2-0 or 3-0 at the time. But the score never truly reflected the balance of play. So it's interesting to see how Connery is going to bounce back if they have that, if they can remove that mental block and actually perform. But as you rightly say, Spurs, Village really needs to win this game, because they've had two, you could say, poor results, because they drew to Saddlers in that game. And we didn't talk much about that, because that's actually a huge point for Saddlers, to get that draw. All right, let's talk quickly now on Sunday, tomorrow's game. Elko Limited St. Peter's taking on Fast Cash Saddlers. That's going to be at 3 p.m. And Saddlers coming off their draw against Village, as we just said. They're confident. I think they're looking, this is 3 points for us.
Yes, it was definitely, because St. Pete, if they're able to get these 3 points from this, they'll be 7 points ahead of St. Peter's.
Wow, that's amazing. That would be amazing for Saddlers.
Yes, most definitely. It would almost resign St. Peter's to one of the bottom two, and Saddlers would be happy to know that at this moment we are 7 points ahead of one of the teams in the bottom. So it's a big game for both sides.
I asked Coach Alexis Richards of Saddlers, what is it about the team? I asked him whether that draw would boost their confidence. And he basically said, the guys are together, the guys are like a family, they're very interested in football, they love football, they come out, they actually support, they actually try to, they show a lot of interest in training and all that kind of stuff, which is not unusual for a Premier League team at this stage, but it's a rare thing to see as well, because a lot of times you will hear of teams saying, they can't get their players out to train, or the players don't show up to training on time, but this seems to be a different case for Saddlers, and you've seen it reflected on the field.
I think it's down to belief. They believe that there's an opportunity to make a playoffs with this new format. Anything is possible with 6 teams getting into the Final Four. So I think there's a sense of hope, a sense of belief amongst the unit. Let's hope that maybe if they run into a bad patch, that that feeling doesn't go away from the camp.
From the camp, right. Remember I told you in the first game of the season, or the first show of the season I should say, that Saddlers could pull off a playoff spot with a Super 6. All right, but St. Peter's, even though they're playing poorly at this point in time, they are still the favorites. They are expected to win, not on current form, but they are expected to win and try to get the 3 points. This is their first big opportunity to do so. Well, second, because they had a chance against Old Road and they blew it as well.
Yes, and as we've been saying, you have to get points from teams who will be in and around you. And St. Peter's now in a relegation dogfight, though it's only the first round, they would have to get points from a team like Saddlers, who might be in and around the relegation zone as well.
Right. The next game, the 5 p.m. game, will be Flow 4G Cairn Rockets versus United Old Road Jets. And Jets, the Old Road Jets team, they're a young team, they're an energetic team. They're looking to take it to Cairn, but Cairn, with their experience, even though they've lost a lot of their experienced players, you would expect Cairn to hold out for the victory for this game, would you?
Yes, but as we've been saying, Old Road is one of those banana skin teams. You never know any day, but Cairn would be licking their lips at the prospect of getting 3 points from Old Road. They drew with St. Paul's. They'll probably take a draw now, St. Paul's. And a win against Old Road will put them in good stead at the top of the table.
Yep.
At the top of the table. And for Old Road, a win against a former champion 2 years ago.
Yeah, and for the President's Cup champion right now.
Yes, and the President's Cup and FA Cup champions would be a good coup this early in the season.
Very, very much so. For Keon though, one of the things that I gathered from assistant coach Jazza Buchanan last week when they drew that game 0-0 against St. Paul's is that they're trying to give the young players a opportunity to play because they've lost a lot of players, a lot of senior players. So they want to now give the younger players a chance. And they're still feeling out the system, still trying to understand the system. Could this, lack of a better word, experiment with Keon right now bode well for them? Is this going to hamper their efforts to go further or to do what we expect Keon to do?
It may hamper them in the short term, but in the medium term and long term, it might bode well for them. Because if you remember the Keon side that won the 2 Premier League titles, they were mostly players who came up through the footballing system in Keon and who grew into that championship team. So if they can do that with another set of players, it could bode well for them going forward.
Yes, indeed.
It might hamper them now, but in the future, the investment now will pay off.
And to the 7 p.m. game tomorrow night, it is SL Horses St. Paul's taking on MAP Newtown United. This is going to be a cracker of a match. Newtown, they're on a roll, they're playing well. And I said MAP, but I think they have a new sponsor now. So it's S-Crave. Yes, S-Crave Newtown United. They change sponsors like they change clothes. they have like 3 sponsors in the last few years, which is good because it shows that the product is good, is a good product, community product. But they're taking on SL Horses St. Paul's. St. Paul's, new look team, young team, great defensive team, playing against a fast scoring, attacking play team in Newtown.
And I told you that it's a battle of the top 2 in the Premier
Right.
League.
So, there you go.
So it's a more watering fixture. And as you say, St. Paul's, a very defensive team, a very strong team. I think they only conceded 2 goals for the season thus far, which is quite commendable. Newtown coming off back-to-back wins. Especially that win against the Lansbury Superstars, that will always stay in the back of their heads. But it's a more watering clash. I don't think no team would want to lose, especially considering the top of the table is the whole of the top of the table.
Right, indeed. As for St. Paul's, they, like I said, they fired blanks last week. They really didn't came up with, in terms of the goal scoring opportunities. But again, we always commend them on for their defensive prowess and how well they're playing. And they seem to be continuing that trend, even though Deco is no longer their coach.
Yes.
But they're continuing that trend. So a draw for St. Paul's, I think, wouldn't be a bad result, considering the kind of team Newtown is right now and how they're playing. But certainly, I think St. Paul's will be looking to try to get something positive out of this game.
I think so, especially seeing that Newtown is still in transition, basically, with a bunch of new players and a new head coach. They would want to take 3 points from Newtown this early in the season while they're still adjusting, and also while the new coach
Right.
is implementing his system.
Right. Well, 2 more things we're going to do before we close. We're going to look at the tables and see the teams that you mentioned that this match is the top of the table clash between Newtown and St. Paul's. But let's take a look at the other things. So again, St. Paul's at the top of the table, as is usually the case. They tend to always be up there or thereabove. They always, top of the table for most of the parts. Very consistent in that sense. If the Premier League champion was determined by who tops the table at the end of the regular season, St. Paul's would have probably been dominating right now. Usually, for the most part, top of the table. Well, then we saw S-Grave Newtown United. They're in second place with 8 points. They've jumped all the way up. They were 5th last week. Saul Allen Auto Supplies Connery FC, they're now in third place with 7 points. Flow 4G Cairn Rockets in fourth with 7 points. Ramsville Superstars also on 7 points in fifth place. United Old Road Jets in sixth position with 4 points. Imagine that, newly promoted Old Road right up there in sixth. So the players are called today, Old Road is in the playoffs. They're followed closely by Pashgas Saddlers United, also on 4 points, and also on 4 points in eighth position, Mantab. So you've seen the teams that would normally be fighting relegation. They're doing well so far, but still early days. Hobson Enterprises, Garden Hotspurs, they're on 4 points, but down by goal difference. They're number 9. And Elka Limited St. Peters holding up the table without a point after 4 matches. Certainly they have a lot of work to do. But it's interesting days, and we're going to see what happens over the next few days. Now, the other thing we're going to do before we wrap up, remember last week on the show we said that we're going to have the predictor, the SKN Football Weekly predictor. So we're going to be doing that this week, and basically the rules are myself and LaShawn, we're going to be guests attempting to predict the results of the Premier League matches. We'll try to predict the scoreline as well. And then at the end of the week, when we come back to the next week's show, we'll look at the result. Now, if the results were accurate in terms of whether a win or a draw, then we will get 3 points for that. If we get the scoreline correct, then we get an additional point. Now, if we don't get it right at all, if we're just off totally, we get nothing. And then, of course, at the end of the season, we'll tabulate our points to see who wins. So let's start with the first one, LaShawn. So tonight we have Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs versus Mantab. What is your prediction of that game and your scoreline?
I believe it will be a tight game. Mantab looking really well since they've been back. Spurs, they had a slow start, but I think in the end, Spurs will have too much for them and be able to get a 1-0 victory.
A 1-0 victory.
1-0.
I'm going to make a really big prediction. I think this game is going to end in a draw. If I'm going to go based on Spurs' current run and their current form and Mantab's confidence, I'm going to go with a draw. So I'm going to go for a high-scoring draw, 2-2. Yeah. I'm going to go for a high-scoring draw. All right, let's go to the next game. This is our game again, Ramsville Superstars versus Saul Allen Auto Supplies Connery. We're bringing this live on Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net on Saturday tonight at 8 p.m. So, Ramsville Superstars versus Allen Auto Supplies Connery, what's your prediction?
Connery coming off a big victory after losing to Manchester. Well, Ramsville Superstars, they're 2 without victory.
Confidence-wise, you're looking
yes,
at that
confidence-wise, I think Connery is in the driver's seat, but if you look back at the last few times both teams match up, I think Ramsville Superstars would have the edge, so that's a psychological advantage. And I'm not able to call
well, you could just call a draw.
a victory for either side, so I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw? Well, I'm actually saying a draw as well, but I'm going to go 1-1. Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 on that one. So 2 draws on a Saturday night. Quickly, Elka Limited St. Peters, Fastcast Saddlers United. This should be a straightforward call, but based on St. Peters' form, anything is possible with Saddlers right now.
Yes, and I think Saddlers would want to take advantage of St. Peters' bad form. But I think this weekend is the first time they get on the board, and I'm seeing a 0-0 draw. First time St. Peters will get points.
Well, if St. Peters were to lose this game, it can't get any worse for them, I think, right now. So I'm gonna show them some mercy, and I'm gonna go with they're not scoring much either. So I'm gonna say a 1-0 victory to St. Peters, and I'm really going out on a limb saying this because they haven't been able to keep a clean sheet, and they haven't been able to score more than a goal.
Yes.
So I'm going out on a limb. I think Saddlers could pull off a surprise, but again, I'm having some mercy on St. Peters today. This week, Flow 4G Cairn Rockets, United Old Road Jets. What's your call?
Well, I think it could only go one way. I think I've seen a victory for Cairn. Maybe a 2-0 victory for Cairn. I think Old Road has impressed me thus far in the Premier League, but I just think Cairn will have too much for them.
All right. Well, so you think Cairn, and how much was the score?
2-0.
2-0 for Cairn over Old Road. I'm going to go and say yes, I think Cairn is going to win this game as well. I'm going to give them 2-1. I think Old Road will get one, as they got a brilliant goal against St. Paul's. And finally, SL Hustle St. Paul's versus MAP Newtown United. This is going to be a cracker of a game. S-Crave Newtown United.
Yes, and it's probably the most difficult of the 5 games to call because, as you said, top of the table clash. Everybody wants to lay this early foundation. Both teams want to lay this early foundation. So it's a difficult game to call thus far. St. Paul's, they have shown they grit at the back and haven't conceded much goals thus far for the season. Newtown, they have scored some. They have let in a few as well, but if I were to call it, I would say 2-1 Newtown.
2-1 Newtown. You know what? I think I'm going to join with you on that one. I think Newtown will pull off a victory in this game.
Yes,
as great as St. Paul's defensively, I think they have more momentum going. They have a firepower as well. So I'm going to go with 2-1. So we'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens next week when we get the results. We'll go through the results and see who actually fared off the win. LaShawn, thanks once again for being part of SK Football Weekly. And you'll be part of the commentary tonight, yes, with the St. Village and the Connery game, which we're bringing to you live. Remember, that's going to be live on Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. You can also go to the SKNFA website, sknfa.com, and listen live. Just click on the Listen Live link, and you'll be able to hear LaShawn. Hopefully, we'll be joined by Troy Biff Mills as well, of Win FM fame, who to be on our broadcast as well. Thank you once again for watching SKN Football Weekly. Continue to send your comments and questions, and in time, not too long from now, hopefully maybe in round 2 or round 3 going onwards, we'll have the chance to interact, give you the chance to interact as well. And also, send in your predictions. Send in your predictions as well. We would love to have your predictions. We can go through them next week when we have the show again. Thanks again for watching SKN Football Weekly, and do have a great footballing weekend.